Hello everyone, my name is Melody and welcome to another video with me. And today, as you can see, I am opening a Scrawlr Box. First and foremost, I am not sponsored. I just ordered a 3-month subscription of the Scrawlr Box and I wanted to open it, so here we go. So first of all, this is an Derwent Precision Mechanical Pencil. And it's a artist mechanical pencil. I don't have an artist mechanical pencil, so I guess this is the first one. It's pretty cool. It's like a metal body and it's so smooth to write in. Next, you could see a card which comes in every Scrawlr Box, which gives all the details of all the materials and art supplies in the box. And there's a Scrawlr challenge topic, which is Imagination Palace. This is for the August theme. And next we could see the Illustrator markers. There's 2 markers, which is Vintage Pink and Vintage Blue. They are the best art supplies in this box. I really love them. As you can see, there is a fine tip on one end and there is a brush nib on the other end. So far, I haven't seen any markers or own any markers that doesn't have a chisel nib, so it's a pretty cool marker to me. And next we have this Derwent shaped eraser. It feels just like any eraser to me, but it's a bit sandy. It almost feels like sand eraser. And then next we have this Stabilo 0.88 Fineliner. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but this is a Fineliner and it's 0.4. And then last but not least, this is IsoSketch. It is a kind of drawing tool for you to really easy to draw 3D shapes in. Personally, I don't really like using rulers in my drawings, but this looks really cool, so I'll give it a try. It is also made to fit in your pocket and your pencil case. And here is the monthly featured artist. His name is Rob Turpin. Rob is an illustrator and designer, and this piece is really cool. It looks really dynamic, and I like all how the lines gives like the 3D dimension to the shapes. And you could follow all his social medias here. And finally, there's these 2 random pieces of drawing paper. I don't know where it's from, but it feels really light and really soft, so I guess it's just sketching paper. All of these supplies are really cool. I've never opened a Scrawlr Box before, so this is my first time ever opening a Scrawlr Box. And this is the August box, if I haven't mentioned that before. And yeah, so far I'm really impressed with all the art supplies. I really like the Illustrator markers. The tips are really easy to use, like the fine tip and the brush nibs. It feels so good. There aren't any chisel nibs, and it feels like using Copics, although the color is a bit off of my expectations, but it still feels really good when using it. As for my second favorite, it's probably the Artist Mechanical Pencil. It's because it's my first ever Artist Mechanical Pencil. I never had a mechanical pencil that is just for drawing, so this is a pretty cool first one to me. It has a metal body and it feels really smooth, and it's not that slippery in my hand. I thought it might be very slippery because of the metal body at first, but it feels really decent, so it doesn't slip in my hand. It's really good. And the eraser is quite out of my expectation. Like, I thought it will be really hard to erase, but it's not. Like, it's really easy to erase the mechanical pencil. Like, although it feels really sandy, but it still is a really good eraser to me because it erases smudge free, it said, and yeah. As for the main character, the 3D ruler, well, at first I didn't really know what to do with it, and it's quite complicated to use. I watched a few tutorials online on the website IsoSketch, just to know how to use that. And I don't really like I said before, I don't really like using rulers in my drawings, so I probably won't use that much often, but it's really good. It's a really good ruler. Like if you're drawing 3D designs, or you're drawing some products, or designing some like interior design or something, it's really nice to have like a ruler like that. But for me, I'm not I'm not going to use that much often after this. So let's get into the main topic. So the scroll challenge for August is Imagination Palace. At first I didn't really know what to do, because like I don't know. I was going for something like a floating castle in the air, or maybe like a castle on a cloud. But then I started to work, like to start to get inspirations from the ruler itself, and I decided to make it something like a children's block, if you know what I mean. Like when you're small, we all play with blocks and like Legos. We like to make castles and houses out of it, and that's always like using our imagination. So I guess I'm going for that kind of thing, like a child's mind, and playing with blocks with my imagination. And it's kind of really cool. It looks like something that I would like to see, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I didn't really want to just make make a like a simple palace itself, and I have this idea of making a jack in the box with the castle popping up. Is like when you suddenly have an idea, and it's like ding, and then you suddenly have this idea, and I wanted to go for that kind of adaptation to this piece, if you know what I mean. I'm actually struggling to use the ruler. Like it feels really weird. Like I don't know which to use which, because like I normally don't use this kind of stuff, and I still don't really know how it works. So it's like learning and trying out different things in different ways. Like I try to add like different kinds of windows on the towers, but it doesn't really work that well. So this is really a fun challenge to me, and sometimes I feel like I could work even more faster if I just drew it by hand and just eyeing the lines. But I was like, no, I should stick to using the ruler, because this is part of the challenge. So this drawing is drawn with all the materials the Scrawlr Box gave me, and only the materials the Scrawlr Box gave me. So, oh, and I'll put all the materials down below. Although I'm not sponsored, if you wanted to like subscribe to Scrawlr Box, it's a really fun little subscription box, like opening a gift every month. It feels really good. Like, yeah. So if you want to go check out Scrawlr Box, I'll put a link in the description below. You could go check that out too. Okay, back to the drawing. So, like sketching the picture is the first step, and then the next is lining the sketch. And it's actually way harder than I thought, because I have to use the ruler like in the sketch, because I couldn't just draw all the lines so straight by hand after I've sketched all of the straight lines. So I have to use it. But sometimes when I try to like trace a square from the ruler, I don't know if I'm placing it on the right place. Like rulers are so complicated. I don't know how to use them. So sometimes I just I just draw it by hand. And the next thing I don't like using rulers in like inking is because it smudges. Like the fine liner doesn't, well, it's not solely the fault of the fine liner, but like the fine liner doesn't really dry that fast. So when I tried placing the ruler onto another place, which unfortunately smudges the drawing, as you can see at the top of the tower, it's a bit like a smudge. So, but I'll cover that up later. So here I'm just adding some highlights and some patterns onto like the palettes to make it less dull looking, less boring looking. So yeah, I used like spots and lines to make different shapes like Rob did in his drawing. So this is actually a double challenge to me because first I have to use only the supplies they gave me, and then secondly I just realized that I only have two colors, blue and pink, the two colors they gave me. So it's like a 2 marker challenge and a scroll challenge. So it's really difficult because I kind of screwed up, like oops, I used the same color here, but it's fine. I really like how it like came out. I also tried to use the markers to blend into each other, like making shadows and like a different color. As you can see from the top of one of the tower, it's kind of purpley looking in that squares. So yeah, I just blend everything in and make it less awkward. And I really like how this castle turned out. It turned out way better than I thought. But if the colors are brighter, it would look better. But it's fine for me. So I don't know if I have mentioned it before, but this is the August box, and I have subscribed to Scrawlr Box for a 3-month subscription. So I will be receiving the September box and the October box too, and I think I'll be opening that in a video too. So there will be 2 more Scrawlr Box videos, I think. So that's something to look forward to. Oh, and then at some point in this drawing, I realized I could like blend the 2 colors in on the surface of the box by dotting it, and it looks really good. Like I didn't intentionally plan for it, but it turns out very good and it looks less boring. So I really like it. And now I'm just sketching something behind the sketching some like swirls behind the castle, like because it's very blank in the background and I don't know what to add anymore. So I guess I'll use some pencil to do some sketches of like those inspiration swirls and all that things, you know, you could find when you have like inspirations or something. I just kind of doodle all over everywhere, and I really like how it turned out, like with the castle fully colored in front and then some pencil sketches behind. It feels very nice. My parents asked me, am I going to color it? Well, obviously not, because if I color it, it will blend into the castle and the castle won't stand out anymore. So I really like how like the pencil fell into place. Like it feels so good that the pencil, like it's soft and it's like in the background. It just makes the picture better. So we're almost at the end of the video, and so far I really enjoyed this Scrawlr Box. So if you really like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you want me to do any more challenge, like art challenge. I don't know. I might do more challenges and more fun stuff in the future. Just tell me what you think in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I do all this art kind of stuff and some speed paints. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!